Hello and welcome back. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at a game that could potentially be labeled as the mixture between Mount & Blade and Total War. It's a real-time strategy with the kind of single-player sandbox that Mount & Blade has, and we'll go into those features a little bit later on. I want to put a little disclaimer in. It's not to the same standard of polished standard that Warband and Total War are. Obviously, the AI is not going to be as good, the graphics aren't going to be as good, and just their whole general models, etc. won't be as perfected as the Warband and Total War. We're going to take a look at the overview of the game. It reads, Veil of Crows is a sandbox-style real-time strategy game set in a chaotic medieval world. From violent and overly bloody battles to completely destructible castles, RPG-style hero development, and meaningful interactions with other factions, you can trade, bribe, extort, and destroy your way to world domination. The world of Veil of Crows remains persistent after you die, so your impact will have a lasting effect on the world, even after you fail or start over. Can you conquer the world and take the throne? I think if it's possible to see past the rough edges of this game, we could have something really nice on our hands here. I mean, we can see that the single player kind of sandbox is very similar to the Mount & Blade sandbox in terms of these small villages where I presume you can recruit from. It also has kind of the same look as the Mount & Blade single player map. You can also see the little parties walking around, and I'm not entirely sure whether it's off the same basis. If you stop, then everything else on the map stops, but I presume it will be like that because it will be very hard to balance otherwise. One thing I've noticed is that it seems to offer some very fast gameplay, so it doesn't appear like you're going to be hanging around for ages, forming your troops up. It seems like you're going to be rushing straight in, especially in sieges. You can start firing your siege engines, breaking down those walls, and then charge your men in. It's not going to be like, oh, I'm going to hang around, I might do this, I might do that, but I think that's just maybe how the trailers look. We can find out when we actually begin playing it. Enough with my opinions for the time being. We're going to take a look at some more features that this game will offer. It reads, fight. From small skirmishes to mighty battles, combat is hard-hitting, violent, and chaotic. Fight for your life. It then goes on to say, build and upgrade your castles and villages to unlock new ways to defeat your enemies and grow your house. Now, growing your house sounds like growing your faction, increasing your renown. Who knows, there's going to be maybe some form of diplomacy. Maybe there won't be. Maybe it won't be that advanced. But it seems like growing your faction is definitely one of the more important sides of things. And upgrading your castles is also very important. But probably the type of material they're made out of will make them more resistant to siege engines. That kind of stuff. We're moving on to diplomacy, where it reads, forge alliances or lie and backstab your way to power. Every action you take will change others' opinions of you. So it does seem like there's going to be a basic diplomacy feature where if you attack someone, they're going to get annoyed at you, and maybe they'll bring their friends that they're friends with to go and attack you as well. So that could be some advanced diplomacy. We could see some fairly simple diplomacy. I don't want to say either way just yet. There's sieges where you can conduct epic sieges and take the enemy's castles by force. Ladders, rams, and catapults are all at your disposal. So we've got the standard siege weapons that we see in many medieval games, and there's also a high degree of destruction in this. So if you fire a catapult or a wall, it's going to wear it down. It might even destroy it in the first shot. This will apply to building roofs and all that kind of thing as well. There's heroes where you basically have to train your heroes to deliver bonuses in your combat, diplomacy, as well as economy to keep them safe because they can die just like everybody else, which is always a brilliant thing in these medieval games. I hate walking around a battlefield thinking you're so much more powerful than everyone else there. You definitely get that feeling in Mount & Blade. Moving on to battle tactics, it's not just about the size of your army, it's how you use your army. Every type of unit has strengths and weaknesses in combat. Weather, environment, and unit momentum comes into play also, so pick your tactics wisely. The game is also a sandbox. So you can choose how you run your faction. Do you want to focus on trade, combat, or building alliances? I personally would focus on combat because that's the way forward in any medieval game in my opinion. But if you want to make friends, you can, and then maybe your friends can gang together on a common enemy. The last point that it makes is that it's persistent because you might die, but it doesn't mean your world dies too. Start again and the world will remain as you left it, which is really nice. So if you die, it's not like everything else is going to stop. It will carry on just as normal. So that was a quick overview of Veil of Crows, and I think it has potential. It definitely has potential. It's still a long way off the finished product. The guy does have a YouTube channel that makes this game. So if you're interested in seeing this game in a bit more detail, make sure to go ahead and check that out. I'll also link their Steam Greenlight and their Steam page down below as well. This isn't sponsored. I'm just interested in these kind of games and trying to raise awareness of them. I definitely think if you look past, I don't want to say this word, but the gimpiness of this game, like the jagged edges, I think we do have something really nice on our plate, and something that's a mixture of two very, very successful games of the likes of Total War and Mountain Blade. If you can reach that balance between the two games, the developers do have a very good shot at making this game very successful. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you did enjoy. I'd like to say thanks to Wookie for suggesting this game to me. Many of you Persistent World players will know who that is. So, guys, I am going to Switzerland for 3 days on Tuesday at about 2 o'clock in the morning. So I'm not going to promise consistent uploads. I might try and find a friend to actually upload my videos for me, not make them, just upload them. So if I don't upload for 3 days, I'm not dead. It's because I'm away. So bear that in mind. Anyway, guys, that's pretty much it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.